Hi folks, this is Tabi Asobian today. Today we have another update for Capcom's Monster Hunter inspired RPG, Monster Hunter Stories 2. Yeah, so Capcom just released another trailer and digital announcement for Monster Hunter Stories 2, and there's some interesting stuff to unpack for eagle-eyed fans of the game. At the top of the list is video confirmation of the 2 new weapons that are being added to Stories 2. So there's been much interest and speculation from fans ever since producer Ryozo Tsujimoto revealed that 2 new weapons will be added to the game. Now, while he initially declined to name the 2 weapons, the latest trailer essentially confirmed what they are. That would be the gun lance and the bow. There's one quick scene where the game's male protagonist is attacking a Plesioth with a gun lance, complete with its trademark glowing tip. Yeah, watch out for those hip checks. Been there, done that. Yeah, so this is great news for fans, and I'm talking about the gun lance, not the hip check. But who knows, I'm sure there are gluttons for punishment out there that love that too. Yeah, so this is great news for fans, especially those who like using the weapon that's been affectionately called the Boomstick in the Monster Hunter series, which now adds a pokey and explosive element to the gameplay. And then the bow, meanwhile, was not shown in the protagonist's hands per se, but it was seen by one of the game's supporting characters. I'm talking about everyone's favorite pest exterminator, the Orkin Man himself and ender of all funny business, Kyle.
Rathalos aren't monsters to worship, or to make bonds with. Don't you get it? They're nothing but dangerous pests.
If I see that Rathalos get up to any funny business at all, I'm gonna put an end to this.
Yeah, so Kyle briefly whips out a bow while threatening the game's monster protagonist, Razewing Rathalos. Yeah, I know, it's a bit of a jerk move, but on the plus side, we can thank the Emerald-Eyed Wet Blanket for further confirming that the bow is in the game, this time in video form, and not just through his character screenshot and bio on the official website. Thank you, Kyle. Now calm the heck down. So much anger. The addition of the gun, lance, and bow also means that we are now getting 2 piercing weapons on top of the first game's slashing and blunt weapons. So if you didn't play the first game, that would be the Great Sword, Sword and Shield, Hammer, and Hunting Horn. So I'm especially interested in seeing how the different weapon types affect the game's combat, specifically in terms of potentially adding new mechanics as far as slashing, impact, and maybe piercer damage goes. So yeah, I'm looking forward to see what they do with it. Speaking of Greatsword, I'm sure you guys noticed a certain move that debuted in Monster Hunter World.
This might hurt!
That would be the True Charge Slash, or TCS, otherwise known as the "yeah, I meant to do that" move. Ask any Greatsword user about the latter and you'll understand what I'm talking about. Yeah, so anyway, in one of the scenes, one of the supporting characters, Roverto, not to be confused with Bobby Boucher's dad, basically whips out his great sword and then proceeds to perform the True Charge Slash's familiar double somersault strike. That's a tongue twister. And all I can say is, beautiful. Simply beautiful. Just like the Mona Lisa. Now all we need is confirmation of the shoulder tackle. Please, Capcom? Pretty please? Another reveal from the trailer involves, well, Roverto himself. The lazy yet skilled hunter from the first game returns to Monster Hunter Stories 2 as the protagonist's partner, alongside another character from the original game, Lilia. That's right, Lilia from the first game is now back as a scrivener, a well-known occupation in the Monster Hunter series that involves researching and observing monsters and their ecology. The trailer also showed a glimpse of Monster Hunter Stories 2's iteration of the turn-based battle system that debuted in the first game. This includes the familiar attack triangle of power, speed, and technical attacks, which rely on a rock-paper-scissors mechanic for combat. So for the folks who did not play the first game, the system is based on the 3 attacks where power beats technical, technical beats speed, and then speed beats power. And so the way it works based on the first game is that if you pick the right attack, you can then get an advantage during head-to-head battles. So it definitely pays to know the attacks, not just of your own monsters, but of the monsters that you fight as well. And then another thing that was shown in the extended preview was that you can also target specific monster body parts in order to break them, allowing you to cancel enemy attacks, potentially topple monsters, and even get drop items, just like in the mainline Monster Hunter games. Choosing the same attack type as your monster partner will also trigger a double attack when you win a head-to-head with a foe, which prevents them from attacking you. The trailer also showed off features such as the ability to switch monster partners, also known as Monsties, during battle, and also the ability to switch weapons in order to take advantage of elemental types and weapon skills, for example. Monster Hunter Stories 2 also gives you the option to be joined by a battle buddy and his or her monstie as well. This means you can have up to 4 fighters on the field, including the monsters. A previous trailer already showed that it's possible to do combination attacks with your hunting buddy, including other players that you partner with during co-op play. One thing that was revealed in the latest video preview is that fighting with a battle buddy actually increases your chances of triggering double attacks while also filling up your kinship gauge faster. And so this gauge is what you use in order to pull off individual rider and monstie skills, such as a hammer slam for example, or a joint skill with your monster pal, such as say a Kodachi Fury, for massive, giant enemy crab levels of damage. Historically accurate giant enemy crab levels of damage. And then story-wise, the trailer also provided a sneak peek of the game's antagonists, which apparently includes a mysterious group that's not only prepared for trouble, but also makes it double by having suspicious hunters and riders working together. So it'll be interesting to see what role they play, and how it ties into Razewing Rathalos and his powers, and of course the Wings of Ruin. Regardless, I'm sure you'll have plenty of opportunities to have these bad guys blasting off again. Anyway, there you go, a breakdown of the latest trailer for Monster Hunter Stories 2. So what do you think of the new weapons as well as the mechanics that have been shown so far? As someone who played the heck out of the first game and even wrote guides for it, I must say that the sequel continues to look great, and I'm looking forward to playing it once it releases on July 9 for the Nintendo Switch and PC. Also, to avoid any misunderstandings as far as the sourcing of this video, I also posted a written version of this script at the Reno Gazette Journal or rgj.com website, which is where I work as a business reporter. So I actually do a lot of cross-posting of my Monster Hunter stuff on that site and here on YouTube. And so occasionally I'll get comments from viewers who don't know that I'm the same guy, and they get mad because they mistakenly think that I lifted the content from rgj.com without permission. Which I actually appreciate when people raise such concerns, because as a reporter, obviously plagiarism is a big no-no, and so proper sourcing is incredibly important to me. But I'm also a bit uncomfortable when it comes to self-promotion, which is why you rarely see me promoting my articles in my videos, and also why you'll never ever hear me asking for likes and subs in my videos, because I figure that if people like the content enough, they'll just do that on their own without me having to pester them about it. I mean, just out of principle, I also don't like using clickbait headlines, which I'm sure causes me to lose a lot of page views, but that's okay, because I mean, I only do this for fun, so honestly it's not the end of the world if I don't get, as many views or whatever. So anyway, that was a pretty long FYI, so like I said, I'm quite excited for Monster Hunter Stories 2, and I certainly can't wait for July 9, which is when the game comes out. I'm sure there are a lot of folks out there who also feel the same way. As always, if you have any thoughts or questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments section. Once again, this is Tabi Asobi, and thank you for watching.